Live on set in my car, so I can fill you in on my left foot accelerator pedal issues. Those of you who play along on my Instagram will know I posted a story the other day that I was driving and my left foot accelerator pedal detached while I was driving on the highway doing 100, and literally my accelerator pedal just fell out from underneath my foot. And because I'll show you, because there's a guard there, I couldn't actually reach my accelerator pedal with my prosthetic or my real foot. So I had to bend down while I was driving on the highway, on a bridge, so there's nowhere to pull over, and pull my whole accelerator pedal out, dump it, and then start driving with my prosthetic foot. And we had it under control, managed it, but that was terrifying. It just fell out from under my foot. So I thought I knew what the problem was. My brother had a look at it for me. Basically, I'm going to show any potential amputees why I will not be using this setup again. So I have this setup now in my current car. I'll be getting a new car in the next 2 years probably. When I get the new car, I will not be moving this modification over to my new car. I will be getting different accelerator pedals, and this is why. Although you can obviously, I now know what the problem is. I can show you what you need to look for, which I was not shown to look for, and I didn't even think I would need to check, but you do. I'm going to show you what it is, but I will not be using this setup next time for a couple of reasons. So I'll show you the pedal and we'll get started from there. I would think I would have cleaned my car for this, but I did not. So here we go. I use the Fujicon left foot accelerator pedal. So this is my left foot accelerator, and as I push on that, there's a roller behind this block, and it rolls on the real accelerator pedal. So this is a bit of a cheaper option. So that rolls on my real pedal. So it uses your real accelerator pedal, and then this is a guard so that you don't accidentally push it with your prosthetic. So there's a few issues here. This is how easy it is to take it out. So there it is. It's the roller, and it just rolls on the real pedal. Problem is when this isn't pushing on anything, so when the roller fell behind my accelerator pedal, boom, that happened. Fell behind. My left foot accelerator pedal fell to the ground, and this guard was still in front of the real pedal. So I had to take it out in order to reach the actual accelerator pedal. Few problems. Well, not few. Well, there are. Okay, so number one, I thought the roller was only sitting right here on the edge. It wasn't nice and in the middle of my pedal. It was sitting off to the edge. So I thought it just slipped and fell behind. So I thought I must have pressed the guard, but that wasn't the case. This base plate on the floor that they put in, it actually moves. So my brother's tightened it up a bit for me, so I can't do it, but he literally just grabbed it with his hands and pushed, and it slid all the way along. So that had happened. So my foot had hit the guard a bit, and the whole base plate had just slipped over and fell out. And I lost everything when I was driving. Obviously, I've literally driven once with my prosthetic foot on the actual accelerator pedal, which is kind of hard because, I can't push my toe. So you have to drive you're clutching the accelerator pedal, so this foot's off the ground. And then I just braked with my left foot because I'm a left foot driver anyway. So I just 2-foot drove. But yeah, you've got to lift your foot all the way up the ground. Doable, but obviously not ideal. So I'll put this back on and I'll show you the other issues. So now that he's moved the base plate, I literally just, that's in, and I make sure the roller is in front of the pedal and give it a good shake. So once that's in, now you can kind of see that's the roller. So basically I'm just always checking that the base plate hasn't slipped and that the roller is visible here, so it's not sitting on the edge ready to slip off. So what we think I did was that once I got in the car, this prosthetic foot here must have like knocked it and pushed the base plate over, which shouldn't happen because it's bolted through the bottom of the car, but here we are, it did happen. So right, that's one, like that's the big thing that I'm going to be checking for, but the other things are, this is my seat like all the way back, so when I'm sitting where I actually need to be to drive, just like scooch it on up, nice and awkward video for you. Right, so when I'm sitting where I need to be, this foot, because the guard is there, you can't like leave your foot that's not driving. Normally it would be your left foot. Like you drive with your right foot and your left foot sort of like sits out nice and comfy, like lengthwise, like out here. But because of the guard, I can't do that. And it's actually quite uncomfortable because my leg is bent so far. But that's it touching the guard. So now I'm really worried that I don't want to touch the guard and push the base plate again while I'm driving. So my foot needs to be off, which is like way back here. And so my leg is actually bent quite tight and it pulls, like the bottom of my stump pulls. It's actually quite uncomfortable on my leg, even after just a few minutes of driving. You'd think I'd edit that out, but it's me, guys, so no. So yeah, I have to sit with my foot like tucked super far back because I don't want to touch this. So if you're a potential amp, as a below knee, that's really uncomfortable. So honestly, like a 5-minute drive, I'm really uncomfortable. I'm trying to move my foot around, but I also don't want to move it too far because if I bump that, the pedal's going to fall off again. So really uncomfortable, not loving it. Also, I'm not close. Like there's all of this room. There's tons and tons of room. It's like that much room. There's a shit ton, right? But here, my prosthetic, like the flare here is so close to the steering wheel. So like, you know, if you're a bottom of the steering wheel driver and you turn, or like sometimes your hand will like knock the leg like as you're trying to turn. So being this close is also frustrating because, you know, like I'm this close here opposed to like this, you know, like there's no distance here. So this I really don't like. I'm sort of like a one hand on and like spin around driver, or drive from like the bottom here, and my hand does and the wheel does like knock on my leg. So I don't love that. And I'm really not sitting close. Like I think you're actually supposed to sit so your wrist comfortably sits on the front, like is the technical, but when I'm back, like that's, I'm really not sitting close to the steering wheel. Like my wrist is, I think you're supposed to be like here. So I'm not sitting close and still my knee like knocks there. It's because it can't be out straight. When it's out straight it sits lower, but like, whoop, there she is, right on the steering wheel. So it's not the end of the world, obviously, but they're the things that if you are looking at getting your left foot accelerator set up, I would not go with the Fujicon. Nope, not for me. Like I said, obviously it's fine. I'm not going to go through spending the money to change it. I'll just make sure I keep checking that base plate, and I'm just going to put up with my leg being uncomfortable on long drives. Like, it's a bit frustrating, but shit happens. It's already in the car. But next car I get, I will be getting flip pedals. So you literally just flip up your right, like, so if somebody with a right foot is driving the car, you just flip up the normal pedal and you flip down your left foot pedal, and it means that you can extend your leg as well, like you normally would. The leg that's not driving, you can let it sit out straight, so my knee's not going to be constantly bent. Obviously everything has a risk. There's always a risk with anything, you know, something could go wrong with those as well. But for me, the ability to sort of be comfortable on that leg and it not be so close to the steering wheel, yeah, that's for me. Sure, maybe the people who put it in, well, maybe they should have told me that it needs to be checked. I was not told that there was any maintenance needed. It was sort of like, it's in the car, you're good to go. I wasn't told about, you know, bolts need to be redone, or that I need to go in every year and get it checked. This has only been in the car for, how long have we been empty? Year and a half? Just over a year and a half? 2 years? Max. So it's not, I don't even think this is 2 years old yet. So yeah. That could also be the problem. Maybe it just was not done up tight. Anyway, once bitten, twice shy. I will not use the Fujicon in my new car, but that's what I would be checking for. And I will be checking constantly every time I get in. I just have a quick look at where the roller is. And yeah, just make sure you check it out. So yeah, for Fujicon for me is a no-go next time. I mean, it does the job, but if you have one, I would be checking that. And if you have one, I would be getting underneath the car, getting someone to get under and check that it is, those bolts that are through the bottom of the car are actually tight, because they were not on mine. So check that. Because it's like this, I haven't moved my foot since driving, so it was about like here. So whilst driving, anywhere, like moving my hand just here to here, I hit. So if you're not thinking about it, you come round, and if you've put your hand here, you'll just like, I just bang. Sometimes it stops and you sort of like, the steering wheel slips a little bit. So that is definitely an issue. If you were any taller than 175 centimeters, like that would really, really be in the way. So I'm going to get a spinner knob and put it here. So from here, I can just like turn it around, because literally if your hand's going from like here to here, you'll have a problem. So I think I'm going to get a spinner knob to fix that issue for the next couple of years till I get a new car.